Well, hello there. Is it Leora? Leora. Hey there, Leora and Foxy Fowls. How are you? Nat Smiles. How are you? Good evening to you. Hey, just be real. How you doing? You said, oh wait. Hey, just be real. Thank you so much for being here. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening to you. Good evening. Good evening to you. Greetings to you over here on Instagram. Thank you so much for being here. How are you doing? If you guys hear noise in the background, my window's a little open and people are enjoying the Super Bowl. So people back here, and it's not greetings to you. I think they're making noise outside. How are you guys doing? Good to see you. Greetings to you all. Good evening to everyone. Good evening, everybody. And while we're waiting for people, let me just say for those of you that are coming back to view this, coming back to view it after it's already been recorded, I am Dr. Carmen Bryant. This is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Today is February the 11th, 2024. It is 7:55 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I say that because a lot of people get on under the assumption that I am live at the time that they're going back to watch the video, and they get mad at me because I'm doing all the salutations and they're telling me to hurry up and I'm not even there. So if you're getting this after the fact and it is after February 11th, after 7:55 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is like, let me see, 9:55 Central Standard Time and 10:55 Eastern Standard Time. If you're not viewing this at this time, that means you are watching the you are coming back to watch it after it's already been recorded. And so if you're upset at all the salutations, I want you to look at your screen, tap it, and then hit the little fast forward button, because you can go fast forward it past the salutations. But I'm going to do all the salutations and say hello to everyone. Hello, watch this. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hi, Robert. How are you doing? Thank you. I'm appreciative, sir. Thank you so much, King. I appreciate it. Hey, Cluster Be Free. How are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see who we got. Dream of Kai. How are you doing? Love to love. Welcome. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We're just going to wait a few minutes until everybody comes in, and then everybody that comes in afterwards is going to have to go back and watch the replay. Excuse me, y'all. And watch the replay. You guys know I'm not used to being on late in the evenings anymore. And so I'm getting myself back on track. So thank you so much, you guys, for being here. If I yawn, please forgive me. Difficult conversations. That sounds like a very good topic. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Now, Instagram, I have to click back and forth between my restream and Instagram. So if I miss some of the conversations, or if I miss some questions, please forgive me. I have to click back and forth. It's not all on one screen. On Restream, I have YouTube, I have Facebook, I have, I think it's X, which is the former Twitter. I also have LinkedIn. And so I have to leave out of here to go over and look at Instagram. So if I miss anything, please forgive me. How are you doing? Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Dolores. Thank you so much. I'm good on all sides. Okay, thank you so much. All right, Brother Hype Man. That's what I'm talking about. Well, praise the Lord to you too, sir. Thank you, King, for being here. I'm doing great. It's BK Lassie. Thank you so much. I've been great. How have you been? Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you. Hey, Queen. Is it Queen Gweezy? Hey, Sister Queen. How are you doing? How are you doing? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm just going to wait just a few more seconds, and then we'll get started, okay? Because I came on about 5 minutes early, so I just want to give people time to come in here. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. Thank you guys so much for being here. While we're waiting for more people to come in, I want you guys to know that I do have a conference July 27th in Atlanta, Georgia. I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia. I have pre-registration open if you go to overcomingnarcissistabuse.ticketleap.com. And if you want to go ahead and purchase a ticket, I have general session and I have VIP session. I know I had someone ask before, if they purchase VIP, are they going to be there all day? Absolutely. From 8 to 5 is general session. And then from 7 to 12 is VIP. But VIP is actually in general session. So you're there from 8 to 5, and then we're going to take a break and let them clean the tables and get the food ready. And then we're doing, it gives you time to go and change clothes and come back, because we're going to be in an all white formal event that evening. And we are doing, no, I'm not on TikTok. I couldn't figure out how to connect it on TikTok. I still have to work on it to see how to connect it on TikTok. I'm working on it. I just got Instagram connected to Restream, so I got to figure out how to do TikTok. But thank you, Just Be Real, for asking. I'm gonna figure it out. But yeah, so if you purchase VIP tickets, right now they're on sale for a discount. They go back to regular price probably within the next month or two. But you want to get the tickets now while they're on pre-sale. And I'm going to be at the Hilton in Atlanta, and I think it's 355. I can't think of the name. I can't think of I did it on another video. I'll put it should be on one of my flyers. It has the address on there. It's 355. Hold on. I'll tell you. Uh, Please know that there is no ticket sales at the door. So if you come to the door to get a ticket, you won't be able to get in at the door. Now, I will let you in general session, but I will not let you into VIP. So if you come to the door, I might make consideration if there's room. But that is one of those situations where if there's no room, I can't let you in. So it's best to go ahead and get your tickets in advance, because if you don't get your tickets, it's $255. So I will be at the Hilton at 255 Cortlandt Street, Northeast Atlanta. General session is from 8 to 5. VIP is from 7 to 12. VIP will be in general session with us. That once VIP is closed, I cannot open VIP back up because I have to have a head count for all the food. It's best to get your tickets now. You know, I can make exceptions at the door for general sessions, but that's not a definite, because if it's full, I can't let anybody in there because there's no more room. So please go to overcomingnarcissistabuse.ticketleap.com. Purchase your ticket. If you would like payments on your tickets, you can lock it in now, because when the prices go back up, you got to pay the price that I have when it goes back up. But if you lock it in now, you get the price. You'll be paying on the price that you lock in now. And you can email me at Dr. Carmen Bryant, DrCarmenBryant @outlook.com. Let me know if you would like me to send you an invoice, and let me know whether you want general session or VIP. And if you send me an email, I will send you an invoice. You can look on overcomingnarcissistabuse.ticketleap.com. It will let you know the prices of the event. And if you would like, and you can do Zoom too. So if you, I will be live on Zoom, but this is for only paid guests. So you can do Zoom as well. But if you would like to pay on it, just email me, Dr. Carmen Bryant @outlook.com, and I will send you an invoice and you can pay for it. It will be a cutoff time for the payment. I will be at 255 Cortlandt Street, Northeast in Atlanta at the Hilton. And so please, hey Kay, so please get your tickets now while they're on discount. After they go back up, you're gonna have to pay for the price when it goes back up. Hey Hammond House Rose, how are you? Thank you for joining me tonight. Let's see. Hi there, April. How are you doing? Hey Dawn, how are you doing, Dawn? Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I hope you can join me in Atlanta. I know Kay's going to be there with us. Thank you so much. And let's get started. Come on, let's get started, y'all. Let's get started. You know, I get excited. I'm a little sleepy right now, so that's why I'm kind of monotone. But don't worry, you know, I'm going to turn it up. I'm going to turn it up. Now I want everybody that has the opportunity, go get you a piece of paper. Hi, Erica. Go get you a piece of paper. And the reason why I'm telling you go get a piece of paper, because I'm gonna give you a free masterclass tonight. Okay. Now, some of the information that I'm gonna give you is stuff that you've already that you know. There's stuff that you know that you've already heard, but we're gonna go over through it again because some of you guys, hi Julie, some of you guys have been with me for the past 4 or 5 years. I think 4 or 5 years. And some of you are new to my channel. Some of you guys are even new to narcissist abuse. So some of you guys are new to narcissist abuse. So you guys are learning about narcissist abuse. I have a lot of people that are new to my site, new to Facebook, new to YouTube, and you're asking questions. And some of you guys are just learning about it. A lot of people have said, it's the first time they heard narcissism versus narcissistic personality disorder. I did repost a video that was recorded with Pastor Ivan Johnson. If you go to his church site, where I actually broke down the difference between um, narcissism versus narcissistic personality disorder. If you go to Facebook and go to Greater Destiny Church of Tacoma, is Greater Destiny Church Tacoma, and just look on his site. I actually, he invited me to speak, and I actually talked about the difference between narcissism and narcissistic personality disorder, because we were talking about breaking away from those toxic relationships. But in order to understand narcissistic relationship, you have to understand the difference between narcissism versus narcissistic personality disorder. And Dr. Romney described narcissism as I think she said as a profile. I think it was profile. And basically, is traits. It's almost like is it the way that I can describe it is like an adjective to a behavior. Those are not, when you're talking about narcissistic behaviors, you're basically given an adjective and a description of behavior. So it's like you're given a description of behavior, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that person has narcissistic personality disorder. When you're talking about a pathological disorder, you're talking about the disorder, NPD, you're talking about a pathological condition or a mental disorder, and they do the same thing all the time. So when you see those, 5 or 6 out of 9 traits, they do the same thing all the time. They don't change. It's the same pattern. When you're talking about people that have narcissistic traits and you look at all 9 of those traits, they may run through the traits, but it's not consistent. They don't do all of them all the time. With an NPD, they do whatever 5 or 6 traits that they have, they do those particular traits all the time. It's like clockwork. But with people with narcissism or narcissistic traits, they may run through the traits, but they don't do everything all the time, the same thing all the time. And then on top of that, one of the biggest things is they have empathy. Now, if you guys got your papers ready, I was trying to give you guys time to go get some papers, okay? It is Greater Destiny Church Tacoma. If you look on Facebook, put in Greater Destiny Church Tacoma. And Pastor Ivan did January, a month of um, mental health and the church. And he had different people talking. I was the last one, but he has different mental health professionals that are also in ministry that are talking about different mental health issues, anxiety, depression, addictions, medications. And then I talked about the breaking the narcissist relationships. And so he did a whole month. If you go look through, it's a whole month in January. Each week he did something about the church and mental health. And I think you really enjoy that. In mind, the one that I did with him, I broke down the difference between narcissism and narcissistic personality disorder. So please go check out his church. Go check out what he did for the month of January. It was phenomenal. He has some very phenomenal professional people that are also in the church, so that you don't feel like you are unsaved if you have mental disorders or if you have depression or anxiety or you take medication. Some people think if you take medication, you're not a Christian anymore, or you backslidden or something, but that's not true. Sometimes you have to take medication. I've never heard of anybody having a heart attack, high blood pressure, or diabetes, that's taking medication. They think that they're not saved anymore. So please don't be religious. We have to use some common sense and wisdom. That's why some people don't want to come to the church, because of the fact that sometimes folks sound crazy. You know what I mean? But tonight, everybody got your paper. Hopefully, everybody got paper. That's why I was kind of talking. Wait for you to get a paper. Now, on your paper, I want you to draw a circle. Draw a circle like a clock, a big circle. And at the top of the circle, on the top of the circle at the 12 o'clock point, I want you to put idealization. Idealization. Write that in. Put idealization. On the 3 o'clock mark, on the right side, I want you to put devaluation. Devaluation. You guys know where I'm going with this, right? Devaluation. At the 6 o'clock mark, down at the bottom, I want you to put discard. Discard. At the 9 o'clock, on the left side, I want you to put Hoover. Put Hoover. Okay, everybody got it? So anytime anyone is in a situationship with a narcissist, and that's why it's so important for you not to go diagnose people. Sometimes people misdiagnose people. You have to leave that to the professionals. You can't go on Google or Google Med and then determine that you know what you're talking about and you come to talk to the professionals, because it takes a professional to diagnose. Because even as professionals, when we're in a clinical setting, sometimes it's not that easy to pick up on a narcissist because they display cluster B traits. So sometimes, sometimes you'll pick up on borderline first, and you're thinking this is they have borderline personality disorder, and there is a sequence of questions. There are testings. There's personality testings, MMPI, and then there's also the MGM. There's another one. I can't think of the name of it. Personality testing, where you can assess. But there are tools that therapists use in order to assess people for different disorders or personality disorders. And so it's not good to just go look on not YouTube, but just look on Google and try to diagnose someone. Leave that to the professionals. Use the traits. People have traits, and you don't deserve to be mistreated. But now, when we're talking about a person being in a situationship, or what we would consider relationships, which they're not relationships, they're situationships. When you're in those type of situationships, that circle you just drew, that is the narcissist relationship cycle. As long the whole lifetime of the situation, and as long as you're in a situationship with them, that is the constant cycle within that situationship. It never changes. The only way it changes is when you exit out of the situation. You exit out of that relationship. Other than that, that is the constant cycle. I have to do it the other way for you guys. That is the constant cycle in that situationship. When you first meet a narcissist, you have to remember 9 times out of 10, they're on the hunt. I can't even say 9 times out of 10. They're on the hunt. They're on the hunt for supply. They're always either trying to replace supply, get more supply. They're always looking for something better. That's just like you have this model car this year. It loses its leather smell. You want something better because, for example, those people that always have the next better car because they always got to outdo people around them. They always have to have the car that nobody else has so they can show off. So by the time people start buying that particular car, then they have to get rid of it because they get something else that nobody has because they want to be the only ones with it because they want the attention. That's a narcissist. They're always looking for the next best thing. They're always looking for the next shiny toy. They're always looking for the next car that has that new leather smell. Once that leather smell starts wearing off a little bit, then they go and look for another car. They look for another leather smelling car. And so that's the same thing with supply. There are supplies that stay for the long run. And it's not because of the fact that you can't leave. It's because of the fact, well, for some of you, you kind of locked in. They've locked up your bank accounts. They've locked up your means of being able to get out of the situationship. There are other factors that are at play. You have children. If you leave, that they'll try to take your children. And so you, in your mind, you sacrifice staying there so that you don't have to try to, lose your children because you know that they're going to try to take your children away. Some people are so trauma bonded, they're not able to leave. But the thing about a narcissist is they're always on the hunt. They're not looking for a relationship. They're looking for a connection, and they're looking for fuel. Supply gives fuel. What is fuel? Fuel is that ego boost. Fuel is that feeling of you make me feel good. It's like getting high. It's that high that they get. You make them feel good about themselves. I always make this analogy, and those people that deal with people or may deal with diabetes yourself, and your insulin, if you have to use insulin, like the shot insulin, you know that when your blood sugar goes up too high, you have to take a shot to bring that blood sugar back down. If the blood sugar starts dropping, if it drops too low, you're going to be in a coma. You're going to be in a hospital. And people have died of going into, is it hypoglycemic shock, where they go into comas and they can die if you don't get to them fast enough, where they have to give sugar. So you have to give them sugar or some kind of protein or sugar to bring up that blood sugar level. Now, think about what I'm saying. It takes a shot to bring the blood sugar down. It takes eating proteins or eating food to regulate that blood sugar, because the pancreas cannot, I think it's the pancreas cannot, balance that glucose, that, it doesn't break down like it's supposed to. I'm not an expert in diabetes, but I know just a little bit, enough to talk about it. But imagine, some is, food, shots, having to take medication, having to, food shots, having to take medication, or having to, that takes a lot of energy and a lot of thought. Even the feeling of coming down or your blood sugar dropping, people can feel it in their body. So a lot of you know this. Now imagine knowing this. So if a narcissist, the way that they see people is fuel. When their fuel levels start to drop, the way that they have to get that medicine is by going to look for a supply that brings up and gives them an ego boost, that makes them feel good about themselves. They can do negative or positive injections, but they have to have that fuel. If a narcissist does not get fuel, a narcissist can become suicidal. A narcissist can die. They become suicidal if they don't get it. And so the thing about it is that when they're looking for someone, what they're looking for is, you can have a job, just simple as a job. You have friends, you have high self-esteem, you're a nice looking person, so you'll become arm candy to them. You may have a degree, you may have a title, you may have a position. There's something that you have that they want, up to the point where they want to get into your skin and be you. And the thing is that the excitement is in the hunt after you. So they're hunting you. When they connect with you, they begin to interrogate you. So they're not building rapport. They're not getting to know you. They're interrogating you, because the moment they connect with you, it's like a car leaving a car lot, and immediately leaving the car lot, it begins to depreciate. So no sooner they connect with you, you already start depreciating. They already start devaluing you, even though it's not obvious at that time. But what they start doing is now what they're doing is, because when they present themselves to you, they don't know how to present themselves to you. So what they do is they take all the good qualities that they liked from the old supply, and they present those qualities to you. So really, if you think about it, you begin to like the old supply before the narcissist begins to mirror you, because that is the bait. Because they don't know yet. They don't know you. They don't know it. They're not even complete themselves. They don't have a actual personality themselves. They draw off of everybody else's personality. So when they first come, the bait to you is using the good assets and the things that they liked about the old supply or the supply that they're with, and they present that to you. So a lot of things that they're telling you is all the good aspects or the good assets from that supply. Then as you begin to open up and you begin to talk, you begin to lay out the movie script to that narcissist. You begin to lay out your life. You begin to tell them all the things about your life. So you're giving them all the information that they need. And what they're trying to figure out is what role they're going to play, what character they're going to play in your life. They hear all the things that you're saying. I don't like it when people do this. The last relationships I've been in, and this is what they did. I don't like to be ignored. I don't like unaccountability. I don't like, and this, and what I want from a man or a woman is this right here. So what you're giving them is your kryptonite. They're telling you, yes, fragmented individuals. You're telling them your kryptonite. You're telling them all the places where you have insecurities. You're telling them all the places that you are vulnerable, because they're going to take that and they're going to create this role to pull you in, because now they're going to look like that hero, because all that you're saying to them is the role that they're going to play. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to pay attention to you. I'm going to make sure I pick up the calls. I'm going to make sure that I'm accountable. But these are all the places that are your kryptonite, because all these things that you've told them are all the things they're going to use against you to trauma bond you. So they're already devaluing you. They may even take you out to dinner. And keep in mind that a narcissist never does anything for free. Everything they do, the amount of money that they spend, they calculate it. The things that they buy for you, they calculate it. Everything that they do for you, anything they could, because remember, a narcissist has to have fuel. And the copious amounts of fuel they have to put out to you to pull you in, they have to refuel somewhere. So they always have somebody shelved. They still are probably connected to the old supply, which may be their primary supply, but they have other supplies that are shelved that they need. This person gives them sex. This person gives them attention. This person just wants to die over them. This person right here gives them admiration. So this person gives them money. So they pull them off the shelf. Whatever they need, they pull off the shelf what they need, because they're pouring out into you. And that's too much fuel they're putting into you. And the harder they have to work, the harder they have to work to get you, the harder they have to work to pull you in, the harder they have to work to get you into their world. And the more they put out, the more you're going to pay. And they don't forget, the more you owe them. They keep a tab in their mind. And whatever they put out, you're going to pay 10 times more than what you put out. And they're always going to remember. They're always going to remind you as well in a certain way. They remind you in a certain way. They don't tell you, they may not come out directly and say it, but they always put you in that position where you always remember what they have done for you all the time, and they go overboard with it. But the amount of fuel that they put out, they have to refill somewhere, because they can't just put out fuel like that and get no return. That's too much. So they have to get some from somewhere. So in that time, in their mind, the harder you make them work, they're already devaluing you, because in their mind, they're angry at the fact that you're making them work so hard, because everybody else doesn't make me work this hard. So you may see little things where their mask slip a little bit, but you notice, like when they joke, they're sarcastic. When their joke is kind of at your expense, even though it's funny, you may go out to eat and you told them that you're a vegan. You may have told them that you don't eat pork. You may have told them that you certain things that but they'll take you. You're a vegan. They take you to a restaurant they don't take in consideration. Oh, let me try vegan myself, and let me take you somewhere. Well, tell me where some restaurants are. Let me try vegan. Since you're a vegan, let me try vegan. Let me see what that's like. And you may introduce them to your world. But instead they take you into their world, disregarding the fact of what you just said. They'll make sure they'll even order for you, or they'll tell you you need to try it anyway. They will take their time to try to out talk you, and you're thinking like, well, and they're like, you need to try something. You already said, and then they'll give you something that you told them. You've already said, and you already said this, right? Try something new, and then you find yourself doing things that you promised yourself you would never do again. You're doing, or you're eating food that you said you would never do again. You may have issues, like some people have issues, celiac disease, or they may have IBS. There's certain foods that you don't eat because of inflammation and stuff. And all of a sudden you notice yourself eating it again. Control behavior, that's right. But they're already devaluing you in there. Then you'll start noticing, because for some, they can hold out for a minute until they lock you in, because they're going to trauma bond you. And so you'll start noticing, as you start getting to the devaluation, you'll start noticing they don't call you back as quick as they used to. You'll notice that, okay, let me back up a little bit. During that time where they're idolizing you, you also feel like I have right. You may have in that time period where they're love bombing you, you'll notice things are moving really fast. They're trying to come and stay the night at your house. They done brought a toothbrush over there. They done brought a change of clothes. Some of them may not have nowhere to stay, but they're going to put up a big front. They'll make you think a lot about them. They'll come up with all sorts of stories. Well, I live with my mom right now because my ex-wife or whatever, or yeah, I still live with my ex-wife at the time because, we're trying to determine, who's going to have what property, whatever. They're going to come up with stories and you want to believe it. Hope is the last thing to go, but you want to believe, and they can be very convincing, but they're trying to nest in your house because you got some stuff that they want. If they can get in your house or your apartment, it makes them look good. I've locked this down. You have money. They want access to your account. They want access to your friends. They want access to the environment that you're exposed to or the people that they want access to those people. And so, but as you start going into the devaluation stage, as you go into that devaluation stage, you'll start noticing they don't call you back as quick as they used to. It seems like you're talking to them, but they don't pay attention to you. It's not like a mutual, it wasn't like before. Something starts changing. And then they may say, but that's your insecurity kicking in because you told them that. Well, that's your insecurity kicking in. You have to be free. You have to be from, or they'll say anything. That's your insecurity kicking in. You told me that you had this problem before. That might be what it is. You did say you're depressed a lot. Have you been taking your medication? Now they're gaslighting you. Have you been taking your medication? Maybe it's because your medication is running out. And everything that they're doing, you got it on, you targeting it. You got it. You're picking it up. But they're gonna make you feel like you're crazy. All of a sudden they start gaslighting. They start making you feel crazy. It's not, it ain't me. It's you. Because remember, you told me in the beginning when I interrogated you, now they're going to say that, but you told me that you have trust issues. You told me that this person made you feel depressed and anxious. You told me that you had PTSD. You told me, and so this right here, you could be triggered and you're being triggered over nothing, but yet you are right on point. You are picking it up back to back to back to back. But the more they gaslight you, the more, and they're making jokes, but it's at your expense. They making you feel like, oh, you take everything so serious. No, that was very disrespectful. But you take everything so serious. Now all of a sudden they're not on time. Sometimes they may not call you like they used to. You may get a call a day or two later and they excuse it as, I'm just really busy. You notice that they don't really have time for you like they used to. They're making up excuses. I work a lot. I do this right here. I got kids. I do this right here. But all of a sudden, they don't have time like they used to for you. They used to have time for you, but they don't have time like they used to have anymore. They may ghost you. You may not see them for a few days and you wonder what's going on. You call them, they're not picking up. And then they're like, hey, I'm busy. I'll give you a call back. I'm out of town. I'm doing this. But you're sensing something is not right. 9 times out of 10, your shot on that is right. But the more you allow them, you're hoping that they come to give you an excuse. So they give you an excuse. They justify their behavior. They even justify the things that they say to you. What is because you said this right here. So it's just an automatic response. You have to watch what you say because I don't think everything gets turned around. And so even when having conversations like circular conversation, you're like talking in circles. So you're kind of confused. Anything. And then as you go to that devaluation, you'll even notice all of a sudden everything that you told them that hurts you is everything that they're doing. Now they become a little more hostile. Some of them become violent. Some of them put their hands on you. Some of them disappear and you don't see them for a week or two. Now it gets to the point where you got the silent treatment. They haven't said anything. You haven't talked to them. Now you're starting, your friends are calling like, hey, did you know so-and-so was at the club? I saw him or I saw her with, or I seen him out eating with someone or her eating. Now, some of them don't cheat. Believe it or not. Believe it or not, some of them don't cheat. And some of you get discarded right in your own house. Some of you are discarded in your own house. They walk around as if you don't exist. They don't say much to you. They pick fights really quick so that they can leave the house. And those are the cheaters too, but they may pick fights with you so that you stop talking to them, or they may leave the house. And then some of them may not even leave the house. You're in the house with them. And that, yeah, answer a question with a question, sabotage you. Yep. And all this time, you have to remember that they're smearing your name because they're already in the habit of doing this with other people. So they know other people talk. So they know that other people talk about them and disclose them. And so what they do is they try to ruin your reputation and tell people that you got mental health issues, or they go find a mentor or somebody that and they begin talking about how they're concerned about you and you have mental health issues. And they take what you've said and they know that you said to other people, and they play on that. I'm really concerned because this is what he or she is doing. And so they're already smearing your name. So by the time they either discard you and leave, they've already started a story about you, so that when you say things, 'cause they know what you're going to say because everybody else says it. So they're already paranoid. And so by the time you say it, people already say, well, he or she said that she was going to say that. Or yeah, you know what? I already knew that something was going on. And so you're wondering why some of these people are treating you a certain way. You're wondering why certain people are looking at you a certain way, and you have to remember, that there are some people that are mutual friends of both of you guys, and they try not to be involved in that nonsense. And even when you two break up, they're still friends with both of you guys, and they're not messy. Then you have those friends that are friends, but they're really their friend, or they're really your friend. And so when you two break up, your friends may say, I wasn't going to say anything because if you love them, I love them too. If you hate them, the doggone it, we're here to support you. It's about you. If that's what you want, and they've been your friend. And then you have some that are their friends. You do have the flying monkeys. You got family members that are there with you guys when you're together, but when you break up, they're back with that narcissist. And the narcissist can do no wrong, because a lot of time narcissists, they pay their friends. They have them trauma bonded too. You're trauma bonded and they're trauma bonded. Or they pay their bills. They take your money and pay their bills. Do you know that when a narcissist is love bombing you, and that's in the idealization phase or the Hoover stage, when they're love bombing you, or when they're love bombing a new supply, oftentimes the finances come from the old supply, or it comes from you. And they're love bombing, or they're idealizing someone else. And that money, the way that they look like they have money, is money from someone else, is money out of their kid's mouth, is money out of their household, is money from their bills that they need to pay at your house. And they're taking that money and they're love bombing, or they're idealizing or chasing somebody else with your finances. And nobody knows that you're sitting at home trying to scrape dollars up. They live in a certain way, presenting themselves a certain way, but you're at home and you and your kids are suffering, where you're working overtime, where you're doing things, you're door dashing, and you shouldn't have been door dashing in the first place. Now, I'm not saying for those of you that door dash and that is your source of income, you got to do what you got to do. And if that's the way that you make your money, and I'm not saying nothing negative about that, baby. You do what you got to do. But when you know for a fact, there are people that I know that are retired, and they retired with money retired. But that narcissist has their finances so strained that they go out and DoorDash or Instacart in order to make some extra money. And when people find out about that, they know there should be no reason why, you should be out there doing that, because you guys have enough money to live. And if you're out there doing that, this person is putting a strain on your finances. And that's what narcissists do. They'll mess up your finances. And then if they've had other sources of supply leave them in the past, and see, this is how they emerge. This is how they evolve. They don't grow, they evolve. And what happens is if that supply has figured out a way to get out of the situationship, put some money aside, cut some accounts off, and do whatever they had to do to get away from that narcissist. That narcissist figured out that with this new supply, now I'm going to have to do this. Now I'm going to lock in some property. Now I'm going to lock in and take that money and lock that money up, so it's not that easy for you to leave. For example, if they have all this financial debt and all this stuff going on, if nowadays when you file for a bankruptcy, it's not as easy as it used to be at one point in time. At one point in time, you file bankruptcy. A few weeks later, you in the clear, you good to go. Now they've changed. I don't know who it was that changed. One of the presidents changed it now, where if you file bankruptcy, they're going to make you pay on it for 5 to 10 years. And so you are locked in there, and they know what they're doing. They lock you in with property. They lock you in with finances and children. They lock you in to a point where it's not that easy to go like it was for the last supply. It's not that easy for you they have kids with you, and it's not that easy for you to go. They know how the last supply did it when it came to legal, law, what they said, how it worked. And then with that new supply, that's how they lock them in. So it's not that easy to go. They isolate you from people on purpose. They isolate you from people so that it's not easy for you to get up and go. And one thing that I tell you guys, if you can get out and go, if you have children by the narcissist, this is a disclaimer. You can't just get up and go, because if you get up and go, what'll happen is they can say that you kidnapped the children. Then we see the APB, we see the what is the Amber Alert, so you can't just get up and go with your children when you're trying to get away from that narcissist. Your best bet is to connect with a domestic violence advocate program, because they document, they make things legal for you to help you get out of the situation, so that in the event that you have to go to court, there is documents and paper trails, so that that narcissist can't say that you kidnapped your children. So when people tell you you just need to leave, listen, if you don't have anything invested in the situation, if you don't have property, if you don't have children, then there, and even now, I think even here in the state of Washington, like if you two are dating and you have gotten a house together, and then all of a sudden one of you leave, they can say you abandoned it. They can award them with the house and make you pay money back. So make sure that before you listen to people and they say you just need to go, you make sure that legally you're clear. Make sure you get some legal advice. Make sure you talk to a domestic violence advocate program. Get you some support. Get you some legal advice before you just jump up and you leave. Okay. Don't just jump up and leave without any type of professional assistance or professional advice. So when these people tell you get up and go, make sure that you understand. Make sure that you understand the legal ramifications of getting up and leaving with your children. Get you a domestic violence advocate that will help you get the paperwork and get the documents together. There are also situations in which you could be in danger, because remember, a lot of times you don't, the narcissist won't unalive a person until they really know that you're getting ready to go. And when you're dealing with a malignant narcissist that also has antisocial personality disorders, psychopaths, sociopath, that have no remorse, that have no regret, that has no empathy, that has no compassion, they don't care. And you've seen it like on a lot of these murder mystery shows or news, where the person just unalived the entire family to include themselves, because the spouse or the supply was on their way out, and the children, everybody. Or another thing, I was listening to a podcast, and the person actually said, I knew they unalived a 3-month-old baby because the lady did not want him anymore. She did not want him, stay away, but she felt like, but the baby still needs the father. So I still allow him to be with the baby and everything. And what he did was he dropped the baby out of a window, a 3-month-old baby from a 15-story window. And what he said is that I knew if I really wanted to hurt her, all I have to do is unalive the baby and she will hurt. And he was paying her back. This is how deranged a narcissist can be. So when you start making your escape route in the discard, whether they discard or whether you do the discard, make sure that you put some legal assistance, get you some support system in place, protect your children. Ladies and gentlemen, stop thinking that a narcissist is not going to do anything to your children. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. And let me tell you something. Never underestimate a narcissist and what they will and will not do. Always take it for the worst that it can be and get you some assistance. Some of you guys, but they need their father, but they need their mother. But you've already got red flags. Well, they won't do anything to the child. They'll do something to me, but not the child. Just as way that they're a narcissist. A narcissist is a narcissist is a narcissist. You think that because they're abusing you, they're not going to abuse the child. They're doing the same thing to the child that they're doing to you, but they're doing it at a different level, because it's easier to abuse a child and to get into a child's mind. I was listening to, and also remember this. The power of sex is in the woman, the power of choice is in the man. So ladies, stop thinking that you made the choice. No, that narcissist or that man made the choice. You just gave the sex. You thought you would whatever you thought you were, a porn star, whatever, but it was the power of the man's choice to pick you. I was listening to a podcast and it was a pimp. It was about pimps and garden utensils. That's what they would call them, garden utensils. And what he said, never let a woman use the power of sex to get you. He says, what I have to do with all these tricks that he has, he says, the first thing you do is you get into her mind first. Once you get into her mind and get control, you now have control. She won't have power of sex over you. He said, but never let a woman get the power of sex over you. He said, always, he said, as a pimp, he says, I get into their minds and get control of their mind first. He says, then it doesn't matter. I have control because I got to get in her mind first. A narcissist thinks that way, to get into your mind first. That's how they bond you, is get into your mind. And the trauma bond starts from the I can hurt you, and then I'm the one that puts the band-aid on you because I'm the one that hurt you. So I'm gonna hurt you and I'm gonna take you to that level of pain, excruciating pain, and then I'm gonna turn around and make you feel better. I'm gonna put a band-aid back on it. And so you become addicted to the cycle of the feel good. You want the feel good. Well, when it's good, and when it's bad. I know all the wonderful things about this individual, and I know that they're a good person on the inside because I've seen them. No, what you saw is the representative, the calling card. That person never existed. That person was created to fit into the role that you needed them to play in. They played a certain role to get you locked in. And so you're always chasing your first high. You're always chasing what it was they presented to you that never existed in the first place. You're chasing an illusion. You're chasing a mirage that never existed. And so that's when you come back, when they discarded you. And then if they can't find suitable supply, or if the supply that they were with did not give them suitable fuel, or if it just didn't work out, or if it wasn't enough fuel that they needed, they come back to hoover you. Hoovering is a term that was deemed by the Hoover vacuum cleaner. The Hoover vacuum cleaner. It was the Hoover vacuum cleaner to suck you back into that cycle that you were in the first place. And they hoover you back into their world. Because remember, a narcissist creates their own world. A narcissist creates their own reality in their own world. What's wrong is right and what's right is wrong. And on top of that, they make you feel like you're crazy. Anything that I say, you are cut off from the outside world because I'm the one you get information from. I'm the one that tells you, how to live, what is facts, what is right, and you are solely dependent on this narcissist because you are in their bubble. You are in their dysfunctional, backwards world. It is a backward world that you are in. And once you disconnect and you look back, you see that I can't believe I was stuck in this world. You got stuck in it where it became your reality too. When you came out, you started asking questions like, I can't believe I thought like this. Am I right? Is this, you're confused about the decisions that you make. So when they try to hoover you back in, they'll do anything to hoover you. They'll say all the things you've always wanted them to say. And it feels so good. You want to believe them. You know what? I think they've changed. They only change until they pull you back in. I think that this time they really mean it. How many times do they really mean it? Because they've been doing this for 15 years and they keep doing the same thing over and over again. Maya Angelou said, if they show you who they are the first time, believe them. You don't have to go through 15, 20, 30 years of the exact same thing. And in your heart, when they're pulling on your heartstrings and you really want to believe them because I love them. I don't understand, but I love them. I just can't let go. They got you. And if you notice, the love bombing becomes shorter and shorter because they've determined, they figured you out. You ain't finna go nowhere. That's why they kind of shocked when you finally make up your mind and leave and you stay gone permanently. In their mind, they really don't think that you'll come back. They don't mind hoovering you or coming back to try to hoover you 15, 20 years later, like nothing ever happened. Or they've done something, they have hurt you, and all of a sudden 10 years later, they coming back to hoover you as if nothing happened, laughing and joking with you. And there you go, ha and kiki with them too. When you go no contact is no contact. No contact on their social media, no contact in the telephone. You block them on all social media avenues. And if you have children by them, I want you to go look up parallel parenting. There's no such thing as co-parenting. No such thing with a narcissist with co-parenting. It's co versus counter parenting. That's what it is. And so what you have to learn how to do is parallel parenting. Parallel parenting. Make sure that you begin to work on the gray rocking. Gray rock means that you don't provide them with any emotions. It is a business transaction. If they say, hey, how you doing? How things been going in life? Oh, good. Thank you. You don't turn around and say, and how have you been doing? Because you're desperate for that conversation. You got to swallow that pride. You got to hold on to those emotions. And you got to remember, you got to respond and not react. Responding, give yourself 24 to 48 hours before you respond back to any text. It gives you time to run through your emotions and then make a intelligent response. Everything does not require a conversation. Everything does not require a response. Yes, no, you have to make yourself boring. That is great rocking. And then you go right back from love bombing to idealization. They put you back on that pedestal to make you feel good about yourself. And this is where a lot of people get their needs met when they're back in the love bombing and the idealization stage. Some of you guys getting money to pay your bills, you're getting new clothes, you're getting electronics, you get a car, you get flowers or a coat, whatever it is you get, that's what you're going to get. But you already know that cycle is a permanent cycle in the lifetime of your situationship. And that's all I have for you guys. Hopefully that taught you something. Hopefully that gave you some information. Brickfit said, if you don't know any doctors in Georgia, are you willing to do a virtual assessment counseling? No, ma'am, I cannot do that. I'm in the state of Washington, so I cannot do that. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up for questions. Just be real. If you give me about 10 minutes, and I will answer some questions. Let's try to keep the questions on what I just talked about. Let's keep the questions on what I just talked about, okay? And ask me some questions on what I just talked about, okay? Let's see. If you guys got any questions. Hey there, Auntie Kathy. Hi, big sister. Let's see. Trying to divorce a covert. He filed, yet he's dragging it out. That's what they do. They try to, because the courtroom is their playground. The courtroom is the playground, and they become the best actors in the world when they get into the courtroom. So make sure you get you a domestic violence advocate that also understands about narcissism in the courtroom. You can also go to Judge Anthony Boppiani, and he'll give you a lot of information on how to conduct yourself in the courtroom. I got a hole in my straw. Dang. Galaxy said, what if your teenage child doesn't want to go back and you have joint custody with the narc father? Should you force the child? That's a legal question. You got to find some legal, you have to go speak to an attorney or someone within the legal field to answer that question. I can't answer that question. I'm sorry. Let's see. Do you know if it's true if some federal law enforcement agencies actually screen to find narcissists? I'm not aware of that. I don't know. I'm not aware of that. I'm not sure. You follow Judge Anthony? Yes. He gives out some very good information concerning the courtroom, especially for those people that may not be able to afford an attorney. But he has classes, affordable classes, and he does coaching so that you can book an appointment with him, at a nominal fee, and he will assist you. He can't represent you in court. He can't give you legal advice, but he'll tell you what paperwork to get and what paperwork to file and how to conduct yourself in the court. He was a judge. He saw a lot of narcissist cases, and I think he was in a narcissist relationship, had to go through it himself. And so he gives some very excellent pointers on what to do and what not to do in the courtroom. And remember, the courtroom is not counseling. The courtroom is not counseling. Just for real said, can narcissists make you become narcissistic yourself if you keep finding yourself in such a relationship? You can pick up on narcissist traits. Absolutely. You can pick up on the narcissist traits and have narcissist traits, but you yourself won't become a narcissist. You will not get the disorder. That's a mental disorder. That's a personality disorder that's usually developed beginning in childhood, going up into adulthood. How do you respond when you are angry by his behavior? How do you process anger? That's a good question. That right there would be a whole nother podcast. Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast. Because one thing you got to do is you have to, it's hot. I'm sorry, y'all. But one thing you have to do is respond and not react. They want you to react. And if you react in anger, that's what they're looking for. And if you react in anger, you'll make a lot of mistakes. So it's best 24 to 48 hours. Take your time before you don't need a knee-jerk reaction. And for a person that reacts means a person that has no control over themselves. You have to practice that, okay? Um, let's see. Hold on, man. Got to reload my page. Give me just a second. Just be real. Please tell me I didn't block you by accident. I had to reload my page. Sorry about that. Marissa says she's sending this to her mother. Good. Okay, good. Thank God. You are welcome, Dolores. Hello, Norma. Let's see. I got any questions on Instagram? Um, I'm encountering a narcissistic daughter using my grandchild against me. Lord help me. I don't know if your state has grandparent laws. You might want to check with your state and get legal representation, see if there's any grandparent laws. What is the test to find out if you have NPD? That you need to do that with a psychologist, psychiatrist. Well, they run tests. There's a lot. It's not a test that you're going to be able to get yourself. That's not. You can't self-diagnose. So that those are psychological assessments that are done within a clinical setting. Um, should I let my ex keep our 15-year-old or keep fighting? She's brainwashed. Maybe she will come around when she's 18 and he can no longer use her as a pawn to get my money. That will require legal assistance. You can get you a domestic violence advocate, but you would have to get some legal assistance. That's not something that I can answer. That's more in the legal field right there. Mm, what's the purpose of my channel? Go look on YouTube and you tell me. Because if you're here, then obviously you see the title, right? So go look on my channel and you tell me. I use the gray rock method thanks to you, Dr. Brian. I appreciate you so much. You're welcome, Dorothea, and I'm honored. Thank you so much. Let's see. So at what point does the children normally feel okay with challenging their narcissist mother that alienates them from the other parent? I don't know. I can't answer that question. I don't know because each child is different, and to challenge a narcissist can be dangerous, even as a child. So, I mean, I wouldn't suggest challenging that narcissist parent, but eventually you're going to have to teach them how to have boundaries. How maybe they have to get to a point where they go no contact when they're of age that can do that. If you have legal paperwork, if you have documents and things like that, that's to be fought in court. And sometimes you can't stop them from visitations. But when they get older, they get to a point where they can have choices whether to go visit or not. You don't ever want to help them challenge the narcissist parent, but they can set up boundaries, learn to say no, or I don't want to go, or those are things that is age appropriate. And I don't know your child. I don't know what level your child is at. So that's kind of a hard question to answer. That would be more of a one-on-one where I would have to know what's going on. Uh, your stepdaughter is scared. Yeah, Peach Tucker, you may have to. Your best bet is to get with a coach or a therapist that understands narcissist abuse, that understands that, or you can even talk to Coach Bumpiani. Judge Bumpiani, and he can give you some legal advice. Well, he's not giving you legal advice, but he can teach you some things about law, but not laws, but he can teach you about paperwork and stuff like that. He can give you more information concerning the law than I can. because some of these questions are really law related questions. Mhm. Let's I don't know what to do. He has an alcohol problem on top of it and always spins out and tells me he's going to kill himself. Is it addiction or narcissist behavior? Well, number one, the alcohol don't make him talk like that. That's probably him. So we don't want to use justify his behavior by saying it's alcohol or drugs. If you are in an abusive relationship and we don't know whether he's narcissist or not, yeah, it's narcissistic to do the things that he's doing. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's a narcissist. However, if you're in a situation like that, if you are in a situation like that, it is best to reach out to a uh, uh, what is it, a domestic violence advocate, and ask them questions to assist you, because no one deserves to be abused. No one deserves to be mistreated or abused or mistreated violently or not violently, but no one deserves to be mistreated or abused. Let's see. I'm in Thurston County. I recently attended a Washington State Coalition. Uh, I forgot what the A stands for. Domestic Violence Legislative Advocacy today. And lobbying political arm is what it really was. What the heck? I'm 11.5 years IPV approaching 3 years. Okay, I'm not sure what it is that you're asking, Jennifer. I'm not sure. Does codependency predispose you to narcs? Of course, of course. Um, does a narcissist eventually give up trying to destroy their ex? It's worse after the new supply affair partner left him. How does he pick who to be angry with? I don't know. I don't know how narcissists think. 10 minutes is up. Okay. I don't know how narcissists think. I mean, I do, but I don't. So I don't know how they pick. Because each narcissist is different. Hey, New Donna Rises. I haven't seen you in a long time. How you doing, sir? Good to see you. So I don't know how they pick, because each narcissist is the same disorder, different person, and so I don't know. It would take for me to have to understand, talking to you one on one, to understand what you're dealing with, to understand the pattern. So sometimes when people are asking question, sometimes it is hard to determine, because each narcissist is different and each one of them has their own pattern. Now, when I say pattern, the narcissist traits, that's one thing, but they have their own, they are individual people themselves that have their own patterns. So it would require me to understand who you're dealing with in order for me to answer that question. I have to know what their pattern is. We have to look and see what their patterns are. Let's see. Soon to be ex has taken our teenage daughter's bedroom. She sleeps on the couch. How he does not care how she feels. Suggestions? No suggestions. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Those are like one-on-one questions. Those are one-on-one questions. I have to know what you're dealing with. Well, we miss you too. Where you been? Where have you been, sir? Hi, Chrissy. How are you? I know my time is up. I know my time is up. I'm sorry. I was trying to drink and talk at the same time. Don't work too well. But I know my time is up. Hey, no, hello, Jesus girl Betty. How are you? It's a pleasure to see you again. You saw me last week, I think, with another woman. I was on there with my daughter and my sister, and then the week prior to that, it was me and my daughter. You don't co-parent. I said that earlier. You don't co-parent with a narcissist. Go look up the videos about parallel parenting. Thank you. Just be real. Yes, these videos are for educational purposes only. You have to go find your own therapist. You have to find legal representation. I can't give you legal advice. I can refer you, not refer you, but I can suggest. going to get legal advice, seeking legal advice, but I cannot give you legal advice. I cannot give you therapeutic advice because of the fact that I am not your therapist. You know what I mean? I am not your therapist, so I cannot. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you up there like that. There we go. Sorry about that. You drive trucks, and my schedule's. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Well, you make that money. You make that money. Uh, well, okay. Well, I was looking through some more of the questions. So I was looking through some more of the questions, and I know my time is up. I know just we're looking at her watch, like, okay, you said 10 minutes. I know, I know. I give me like 2 minutes. I got 2 minutes until it's 9 o'clock. For me, 9 o'clock, and that'll be my whole hour. And so, let's see. Let me see. Let's see some questions that I may have missed. Let's see. Dawn said, "Do narcissistic men really love their children?" Narcissistic men, meaning if they have traits, they are capable of loving their children. Yes. If you're talking about a person that has narcissistic personality disorder, they don't have the capacity to love. In their minds, they think that if I give them money, if I do this, that's love. So never hurt your children's feeling by saying that your father don't love you. Don't do that because you're angry. They ask you, you say they love you the best way they know how because they don't have the capacity to love. Okay? They don't have the capacity to love. They don't understand that concept. They don't know what that is because they don't have empathy. They have cognitive empathy, but they don't have emotional empathy. Emotional empathy is to be able to put your feet in somebody else's shoes and you can imagine the pain that they're going through. Now, I'm not talking about being an empath. Empath actually feel the emotions of other people. They feel it as if it's theirs. But to feel someone else's pain is like saying your mother, God forbid, your mother passed away. And then I know my mother is living. I couldn't imagine, oh my gosh, I can't imagine what it would be like and how painful that will be. That's putting your feet in somebody else's shoes, or seeing somebody broke down on the side of the road, knowing you have broken down before and like, oh my gosh, I know what that feels like. Let me see if I can do something to help. That's empathy. Cognitive empathy. They don't have that. They have cognitive empathy. Cognitive empathy means they understand how emotions work. That's why they watch you long enough. They understand what buttons to push to get you to react the way they want you to react. So they understand how emotions work. They understand what buttons to push, what to say, how to calm down, how to love bomb you, how to hoover you, all the things that you want. They understand that. But to feel your pain, they don't feel your pain. All they know is they like what they can do. So if they can hurt you, if they know how to hurt you, they'll hurt you because it gives them a sense of strength. It makes them feel empowered. It makes them feel strong. Okay. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting ready to go. No, I usually do live stream on Sundays. So I usually do my live streams on Sundays. I don't have time to do live streams during the week. I usually post videos during the week, but I really don't have time to do live streams during the week because I'm still working on my academy. I'm working on an academy. So um, let's see. So listen, I'm ready to get off. Let me just look on Instagram, see if there's any questions over there. No questions over here. I'm sorry, Instagram. I am connected to Instagram under the app that I'm using, but for some reason it doesn't trickle over to the restream so that I can see what the questions are. I have to click back and forth to look at the questions. Okay. Listen. So you guys know I'm Dr. Carmen Bryant. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. You can find me on the site formerly known as Twitter, which is now X. You can find me where else? On TikTok. So usually I do my videos on TikTok and repost them on all the other week, starting on like Tuesday through Fridays. I usually post my videos. I have a conference coming up on July 27th in Atlanta. If you want to attend in person, go to overcoming narcissist abuse.ticketleap.com. Right now, the tickets are pre-sale on sale. There's general session, there's VIP, and then there's Zoom. I will be doing it on Zoom for those guests that pay for Zoom. Now, general session is from 8 to 5 p.m. and VIP is from 8 to 12. But what we do is we take a break at 5, go change clothes because we're all getting in white formal wear, and we're going to have dinner in the evening. We're going to have a round table, and you're going to see Apostle Helen Sadler. You guys know Telsha with the T on MPD, Tasha Lelandman, my big sister, Bishop Kathy Gibson. She's going to be there. Bridget Griffin, who is a domestic violence advocate, Victims First program here in Washington State. So those are all, you get to meet us all in the evening and have a formal dinner. For those in general session, you'll see those same people, the people that are on the platform, myself, Bridget Griffin, Bishop Kathy Gibson, Tasha Fields, and my mother, Apostle Helen Sadler. These are all the speakers for the general session. And the evening is special because we go into, and listen, we're raw. So we talk about what we talk about. We talk about sexual molestation. We talk about all that. And we go in detail with it. So the stuff that you don't get to see on social media is all the stuff that we talk about behind closed doors. And sometimes it's nice to see people when they're on social media, but it's even better when you get to see them in person. And when you get to see us in person, you get to hug us, you get to sit and talk to us. We sign your books, eat off your plate if you let us. And the night before, on the 26th, I'm going to have a meet and greet. It's at the Hilton, and it's 255 Cortlandt Street Northeast in Atlanta, Georgia. Please buy your tickets. Don't just show up to the event thinking you can get in. VIP, once VIP is closed, you cannot register at the door. So once VIP is closed, I cannot accept anybody because it's a head count for the food. The general session is best to buy your ticket online because I cannot guarantee you there'll be seats available when you come. And then during the 8 to 5, when we do the general session at lunchtime, we're going to go up to one of the really nice, classy, one of the nice restaurants that are in there. The night before that, for meet and greet, they have the balconies out there with the It's really nice. Go look at the little video clip that I did. They have like the balconies out there where you can go out there and eat and sit down. It's got lighting up there on the balconies. It's really, really beautiful. And then listen, and I also am doing it on Zoom. So if you cannot, if you see the price on overcomingnarcissistabuse.ticketleap.com, those are the price. If you would like to pay on your ticket, I'm allowing you to lock in the price now, because once the price goes back to regular price, that's going to be the price. If you lock in the price now, I will honor that, and that will be the price you're going to pay for VIP or for general or for Zoom. And you lock it in, and all you have to do is just email me at Dr. Carmen Bryant at Outlook.com. It's DR, and then the whole thing is together. You see my name up there, so Dr. Carmen Bryant. Put that whole thing together and take the period out of there. Dr. Carmen Bryant at Outlook.com, and let me know if you want me to send you an invoice. Let me know if you want general session. Let me know if you want VIP or if you want Zoom. And I will send an invoice to you with a cutoff date in a few months so that you can pay on your ticket. I really would love to see you guys in Atlanta, Georgia. I really want to see you guys. Listen, I also want you guys to go check out my big sister's book. She's got a new book out called The Indelible Woman. So the first one was the oh gosh. Let me go look. Let me look at the book. I know she online. Somewhere. I'm surprised she hasn't chimed in yet. Hold on. But I want you guys to go check out. She's got a new book out called The Indelible Woman. The Indelible Woman. And then she has another book called The Essence of the Aristocratic Woman. You guys don't want to hear it. Here go her books. Hold on. So she's got The Indelible Woman. It's the new book that just came out. She's got another book coming out, The Indelible Woman. She got the first book she did was, that's it. Destiny Man, Qualities to Look For. Her second book is The Essence of the Aristocratic Woman. And the newest book she has out right now is called The Indelible Woman, when she's an introduction. And she's got another book coming out that should be out within a few weeks. Make sure you check her out. She got a conference coming up as well in April, and I'll make sure to post that. I have not posted it yet. My sincerest apologies. I'm going to post that on my Facebook. My mother has a conference coming out too. It's from the 9th to the 11th in Dallas. We're going to be in Dallas, Texas, And the names that I said, plus some more people, will be speakers at that event. That is not a narcissist abuse recovery program. That is not. That is ministry. And this year is each process leads to freedom. And I think it's the Domineers, the year of the Domineers or the Domineers. But it is ministry, but it talks about every aspect of your life, your business, your ministry, your life, whatever situation, your family. But you guys want to, and I'll make sure I post that as well. But it's from the 9th to the 11th in Dallas. We should have some information out this week so that you guys, if you want to purchase tickets or make payments on tickets, it's going to be on Zoom as well if you cannot come. And then on the 12th, which is that Monday, we're going to go to the perfumery in Dallas so you can create your own perfumes. They keep it on file. You can create your own perfumes at the perfumery. But it's going to be from the 9th to the 11th in Dallas, Texas. And then Bishop Kathy Gibson, her conference is going to be in April. I will have that, in April. I will have that posted. And my conference is July 27th in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm hoping to see you guys out there. Okay, I'm hoping to see you guys out there. Let's see. I do not do personal assessments. I do not do personal assessments. I do not do NPD assessments, brick fit. I do not do that. That is something that you have to get done by a therapist in your area. I'm a therapist in the state of Washington. I do not work with narcissists. I do not work with people that have NPD. I work with the victims of NPD. But if you come to the conference, you bring your partner is going to be there at the conference. But I'm not doing assessments. I don't do assessments, and I do not do personal interventions. I do not. I do not do that. Let's see. You live in Dallas? Well, New Donna Rogers, I hope you come to my mother's conference. I hope you come to my my mother's conference. I hope you come. I am a coach, and I'm also a certified coach trainer. So I have a institute that is getting ready to come out within probably like 3 to 4 months. It is an institute to train coaches to be coaches. And no, this is not a coaching institute to focus on narcissist abuse recovery coaching. This is a coach because a lot of you guys have some really great ideas. Some of you guys are business coaches. Some of you guys are parenting coaches. Some of you guys are life coaches, health coaches, fitness coaches. Whatever type of coaching you want to be, I'm going to certify you and teach you the business side of coaching and how to do coaching. I will also provide, after I open the institute, I will then also provide niches. And some of those niches, whether it's transformational coach, whether it's trauma focused coaching, whether it is the other one is narcissist abuse recovery coach. I will provide niches. So if you want to learn a niche, I will be able to provide you with that as well. But I'm getting ready to open up a coaching institute so that you can get certified at coaching and you understand the business so that you can open up a business. So you can open up a business for coaching. If that's something that you would like to do, is the business of coaching. Okay. All right. Let's see. Do I have anything else here? Let's see. Let me just scroll through here real quick and see. Thank you so much, Dorothy. I appreciate you. Let's see. All right. Well, now I'm just scrolling through, make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, I have over 700. I didn't know I had that many. That's a lot of videos. Let's see. Oh, you like that with the colors? The only reason why I put the colors up there is because if I had to switch over to a different screen for Instagram, so it has those colors up there at the top. Hot Atlanta. I hope you come out there, Jennifer. Yeah, I hope you come out there, Jennifer. I hope to meet you. I know I get to meet Kay for the first time. Let's see. I'm just looking through real quick. Just looking through real quick to see the comments on here. See if I missed anything. All right. Well. Let's see. All right, there we go. I'm looking on Instagram. On Instagram. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the evening. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hey, that one girl, how are you doing? That one girl, Bren. Hey, Bren, how are you? Well, thank you so much for being here this evening. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for those of you that even came in to do the replay. I appreciate you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys for supporting me. And I hope to see you at the conferences. We've got a lot of stuff coming up. Remember, I got a coaching institute. Um, I got a coaching institute that is coming up, and I am looking forward to those of you that are wanting to become coaches, that want to be certified as coaches. When it comes, I will let you guys know because I will start broadcasting for those of you that do want to be certified as coaches and you want this as a business. You want to start a business of coaching. I'm going to take you through the process of starting a business of coaching in whatever area you would like to coach in. I would highly advise and recommend don't go into something that you're not familiar with. If you are a business person, why would you go? I mean, unless you're into health, why would you go into nutrition? Or why would a nutrition person go into business unless you understand business? It's something that you have been doing, something that you know how to do, that you can do with your eyes closed. Some of you working in the corporate, and there's nothing wrong with working in the corporate. Don't just jump out of corporate thinking that, when I start this coaching business, it's going to just fly. It's going to just go. No, you still want to have your foot in your business. You still want to have a foot in corporate to make sure you have finances as you're working on your coaching. Because sometimes it could take up to a year to get it moving until you can just step out of your corporate business and do coaching to survive or to maintain or to go above and beyond. And some of you guys are millionaires in the making. Some of you guys have some $1 million ideas. You just don't know how to bring those $1 million ideas out. Some of you guys, you don't realize that people are waiting for you. They're waiting for you to finally come out and do what it. Do you know that people that go through narcissist abuse, when they come out, see, most people think, okay, I want to be a narcissist abuse recovery coach. What is it that you're trying to do for them? What is it that you're trying to help them in? Because a lot of people need job skill training. They need housing. They need advocacy. They need to know how to save money. They need to get money. They need to go to school. They need to learn how to write a resume. They need to learn how to open up a checking account. You'd be surprised at how many people don't know anything about opening up a checking account, putting money aside. They don't know anything about taxes. Some of you guys know how to do taxes, understand taxes when it comes to businesses. Some people that are opening up business or even coaching businesses need advice from someone that's a coach that understands coaching. Or some of you guys that are in the business arena, when they start opening up their businesses, need to understand how to do their business, how to separate their money, how to make sure they put their, what do we claim on taxes. So some of you guys have these phenomenal ideas and people make money. Some of you guys are into business to a point where you understand digital business. And some people that are wanting to open up their business or wanting to open up, whether it's business or whether it's coaching, some of them are looking for people like you that understand, oh, this is what you do in digital marketing. Oh, this is what you do. And so some of you guys are very spiffy when it comes to setting up YouTube channel, when it comes to editing stuff, when it comes to, creating flyers and doing this right here. So you would be surprised at how much information that you have, how much information that you have that people need. And some of you will be some excellent coaches and can make some excellent money doing it. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for, let's see. You don't want to leave either. I appreciate you guys for being here and supporting me. Thank you so much for being here. I'm looking, let's see. Let me look on Instagram. I'm looking on Instagram. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here. That's all I had to say about that. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again. Just look on my social media. I will be making sure that I put out videos and questions that you may have. I actually may have them in the videos. Go look in the videos. I got a lot of videos out there that answer your questions. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. Thank you guys. I love all you guys. You guys have a wonderful evening and go be great. Good night.